All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Agni James, and this is Dr. Danielle Johnson, and we are going to be talking about a lot of different things today. You have something to say or not?
So we have been going back and forth about what we're going to talk about today, and it's been a little source of contention for the last couple hours because I'm very intuitive with how I work in the world, and Agni is very analytical. And so he would come and say, "Okay, what are we going to talk about tonight? Let's label everything down. Let's practice it word for word." And I'm like, "No, let's just talk. We can talk about happiness, and we can talk about what we're researching. And we can
Yeah.
talk."
Danielle likes to extemporize. She's like the concert pianist that just shows up, after a late night of drinking, to the concert piano hall and just, puts on this brilliant performance. I'm the kind of guy that likes to have every single detail planned out and organized. So yeah,
We've been clashing.
we're gonna try to make this work. Okay, we have a lot of people to say hello to here. P. Barrow, hello. Thank you so much for showing in. Roko Hemda, hey, it's great to see you. L. Johnson involved, great to see you as well. And JT Farms, awesome, great to see you as well. You are one of our 2 subscribers. Just anyone who's unaware of what's going on, we recently became, as of yesterday, we became Twitch affiliates, which means we're moving up in the world. We now have the potential to have subscriptions, so we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe if you get the chance. Also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can subscribe for free. So all you have to do is link your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account, and then
In Prime, you have to go into Amazon Prime to do it.
yeah, and then you'll be able to subscribe and support the channel. So keep that in mind. Okay, so today we have a lot of things to discuss. Nothing scripted though, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. I like order and discipline. I'm a chess player. I play competitive chess. Those of you who don't know me, so I like when things are very logical. And Danielle can go the other way. She's very intuitive based, intuition based. So I guess we're going to be talking about happiness. That's one of the things we're going to be talking about. What is happiness and what is suffering and things along those lines. And then I'll probably jump into a meditation later on at the end of it. So a few quick things about happiness.
So first, I would like to know what anybody thinks happiness is. If you want to type anything in the chat, let us know, what does happiness mean to you. Because we assume that people want happiness in their lives, right? Not suffering, which was what we kind of think of as the opposite. So what would make you happy in your life? How would you define that? And then we can talk a little bit while people are kind of coming up with their thoughts about maybe the history of happiness a little. So what does philosophy say about happiness?
I mean, there's a lot. There's many different takes about what philosophy says on the history of happiness, striving for happiness. One of the big distinctions that is made is the notion of need fulfillment and hedonistic happiness versus contentment, and that's something that's important to keep in mind. So when people are born, they're basically trying to get their needs fulfilled, right? You're hungry, you're tired, you need to sleep, you're hungry, you have to eat, right? You have all these different things that you have to do in order to survive, right? And as you get older, you might try to become happy. And then when you fulfill those needs when you're a kid, you get happy, right? You get a full meal, you're happy, right? You get a good night's sleep, you're happy. And then when you get older, maybe 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, you start, you have a good meal, and you eat a ton, and then maybe you're not so happy. I mean, maybe initially you're happy, but the gorging and the hedonistic behavior seems to not satiate in the long term. And this is something that a lot of people have difficulty understanding. So, initially, yes, need fulfillment must be met. We need to get, healthy meals. We need to, get nourishment, get sleep, all those things such that bodily processes can function well, and that we can function well as human beings. But then when we get older, we seem to look back to those ways of trying to find contentment in life and use those same ways to try to find happiness when we're feeling down. And they don't seem to give the same level of reward as we had when we were younger. So some people tend to keep pursuing those things, right? Some people are like, well, I'm just gonna go to all you can eat buffets. I'm just gonna gorge. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna maybe start drinking, right? I'm gonna start drinking, and then if I drink a lot of alcohol, then I can be happy. And initially, yeah, you get drunk, you probably feel happy, but then there's always a downside to that too. Oh, let's see, JT Farms, short-term goal happiness from mental stability. Yeah, absolutely, right. A stable mental state is definitely a way that some people try to find happiness through, and that's a really good point. So we have all these different things, right? And some people never really get out of the mindset that more is better, right? There's this notion in America and Western culture. Danielle, maybe you can expound on that a little bit. People think that more is better, and that like the more food you get, the more alcohol you drink at a party, that's all better. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's true. I think related to what you were saying before, earlier than that, I don't have a lot to say on that exact point.
Okay.
But from my experience, and this kind of backs itself up in the research. So if anybody watched a couple of live streams I did before about talking about your character strengths and stuff.
They were good. And by the way, if you haven't watched them, go back and check them out. The VODs should still be up there. And all right.
They are? I don't think they are.
Maybe at least one of them should still be up there. All right.
So, for me, and so I like to observe my emotions a lot. I like to kind of feel something and then watch it in a mindful state and kind of figure out where it's coming from. And that's been helpful to me in my journey towards peace and that type of thing. And so I have a couple of triggers. So one was always food for me, and eating and just shoveling it into my face.
Yep, very common.
The all-you-can-eat buffet is definitely
culture,
mine.
Right?
Yep. And because growing up, that was tied to so many positive memories. That's like what my family does is we get together and we have appetizers and we have a meal and everybody's favorite dish is there. And it's a very warm and cozy and loving feeling that I attach to food.
So what you're saying is that you might even get more joy out of like maybe a good meal because of all the past associations that you have with your family, eating good meals and all that, as opposed to just the meal itself.
Right. And another association that I have with it is kind of reward as far as achievement goes, because in high school I was in 50 million sports, and so my metabolism was like through the roof, and so people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you ate that whole pizza or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so that was kind of a sense of challenge, and I would eat the whole pizza and everybody like, where do you put all that food? Blah, blah. And so that was kind of a sense of pride for me. And so I think that association is with it too. And so what I see now as food being something that I still struggle with is that as I am shoveling some French fries in my face or whatever, right? I'm at least, if I get to a point where I need to do that right now, I at least observe it and try to learn from that moment. And so what I find is that yes, it's giving me that there's salt touching my taste bud that is causing some sort of neuron to fire, right? That's releasing something that is feeling good. And so I kind of have this superficial good feeling when I'm eating that salt, or the chocolate is one of my other ones. But when I really kind of observe it, it doesn't have any depth, right? Yeah. It doesn't have any soul to it. It doesn't have any substance to it beyond just that physical trigger.
Absolutely.
And what I've learned And the thing is, when I was young, I thought that was happiness.
Yeah,
I
so did
thought
I.
that meant I would go shopping sprees and I'd be like, this is what happy feels like, right? Buying anything I want.
It's American culture.
Yeah.
More is better, right? If you want to be happy, just get as much as you can of whatever it is, and then you're going to be happy, right?
Exactly.
That's the mentality.
And so I even think sometimes I think like I misassociated things and like I would be eating or whatever, and people are like, "This is happiness. This is happy." You know what I mean? I'd be like, "Oh, okay." Like I don't even know if it ever really felt as good inside me. I was just told like that's what it means, you know. So, what I found is that when I'm really happy, you know, and I didn't discover this till 8 years ago. I didn't really understand what happiness was, and I imagine this happens with a lot of feelings. Like I can imagine it happens with love for some people when they say like, okay, I know I'm in love, that type of thing. Number one, I don't know what that means, Lindsay. Maybe she'll tell us more. So I feel like for me, see, this is one of the reasons why this method is not as conducive for me. I get so distracted with the chat that I just completely lose where I'm going.
You were basically just talking about how you're not getting as much satisfaction.
So like 8 years ago when I found my passion, the thing that like I'm supposed to do in this world, when that happened, that was deeper. That was something that like was inside of me so it couldn't be taken away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned to like really appreciate my strengths and my, here's my weaknesses. Okay, that's fine. But instead of beating myself up for it, here's the things that I'm really good at, loving those things, finding ways to express those things, finding a higher purpose in life, and then trying to like model, live for those things. And then so now, even though I get stressed out or whatever, and my coping mechanism is the eating, right? I got rid of the shopping one a few years back, so that one never resurfaced. But for me, I still have the eating one sometimes, and it feels different. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels good in the moment, but like it doesn't satisfy my core.
Would you say it feels cheaper? Like a cheaper way of trying to get it happen? It's like the equivalent of eating like fast food as opposed to like a good, 7-course dinner.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, cheaper. It doesn't feel like that word doesn't feel right to me. It might just be the connotation of the world in our society or whatever. Yeah. It feels more like deeper.
Okay.
Like it's more of a depth.
It's not hitting your fundamental core as much. All right.
And then what I find is like when I'm in that place where I'm living my purpose, I'm doing my calling, I don't crave French fries anymore. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I crave avocados and broccoli and high quality products and not processed food, not sugar. I don't even want any of those things anymore because I'm just so content and at peace and satisfied with what I have manifesting in myself.
You really have some good things to say here. I think the thing that you said that strikes me the most is the connection between happiness and purpose. And I think this is something that might be worth exploring a little bit more here. So before you had the sense of purpose, you said around 8 years ago, I think you said you mentioned to me talking earlier that you said you had come up with some an idea about the theory and about just kind of reevaluating the way you think about things. Before you had that, you didn't have a set purpose in life, and you were more likely to just kind of latch on to fleeting things that would give you temporary need satisfaction or need gratification.
Right. Or like my purpose was getting money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
As much money as possible.
Right, exactly. So it was like, okay, I'll work 4 jobs and work 80 hours a week and just have money coming in from all sources, but all I'm doing is getting up and going to work, and like I dreaded getting up every morning.
Yeah, your job did not satiate every core, essence of your
being. It didn't tap into any of my strengths, and it basically was just tapping into a lot of my weaknesses. Customer service does not.
You don't find that very fulfilling?
No. I'm just not. No, I don't.
Understandable. One of my good friends
I
does customer service for Crate and Barrel, and he doesn't exactly find it the
I
most
mean, I love
rewarding
people
thing in the
so
world.
much. I hate society and like the systems, and
Mhm.
that's what you have to work within customer service. And
Yeah.
the customer is not always right. I'm sorry. Sometimes the customer is a jerk off, and they should not get free shit and be rewarded for being.
A lot of people will agree with you there. That's
Sorry, that was a total tangent. But so yes, that did not bring out my strengths. Like a better suited person for that job is somebody who can be kind to people
hmm
and can let that stuff, roll off their skin or whatever. I am not great at doing that. That is
okay.
one of my areas of improvement. But learning, and any of you again who watched me take the character strength survey found that like this love of learning, this truth and wisdom aspects were some of my strongest strengths. And so once I started living for those things and doing those things, so let me preface that with I still suffer.
Yeah.
But the only time I suffer now is when I lose sight of that purpose and I'm not following that purpose. And so now I'm suffering because I'm too scared or too, so for those of you who don't know, my purpose in this world is to unify the whole field of psychology with an overarching meta theory, and that will in turn bring about world peace. So
Pretty awesome, pretty lofty goal too.
so just a
I will
small
say,
little goal right there.
Yeah, it's not like she wants to, clean up the trash on like a certain segment of Highway 171. She just wants to, unify science and all that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But she does have some really good ideas, and she's, smart as hell. So we'll see how it plays out.
But that's a really scary, like ridiculous thing to say out loud sometimes
Yeah.
to yourself when you're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like unify all of like. I freak out. I go, who are you to think that you know anything better than any of this, or that you could succeed where others have failed, or any of that stuff? And so then I go, maybe I should get this other job. You know what I mean? Or maybe I should take this other path. And that's when I start to want to eat the salt again, right? Or the chocolate again, when I start losing that purpose.
Losing your purpose. So then what would you say? What would you think about the relationship between purpose and happiness? Would you say that if one has a strong purpose in which they feel that they are working and activating their authentic self in the process, that individual would not need to go try to fulfill their sub purposes, maybe by gorging on food or alcohol or drug addictions and things like that? Is that something you would hold?
Yeah, I would go that strong.
Okay, so I think that's a really good point to stop at. It's something to think about, right? If we do have, and I've noticed too in life, if you see someone who's just kind of wandering around aimlessly, they tend to get into into behaviors that are not very conducive to living a happy, healthy life, right? But if someone is very steadfast, if someone has a strong purpose and they want to go with it, and they wake up and they're every day they look forward to fighting their fight or promoting their idea or whatever it is, that seems to give people a certain level of satisfaction that is not found in buying 7 double cheeseburgers at McDonald's when they're 99 cents.
Can I add one more thing?
Well, and that was my joke. We're supposed to pause and like laugh a little bit and like talk about how funny that is, because I used to know a guy that would literally go and buy 7 double cheeseburgers, or actually no, I think he bought 9 at one point.
Well, how would I think that's funny? I didn't know him.
Well, you do know him. I don't want to mention any names here. You do know the guy I'm thinking about. But,
right.
I just don't want to put anyone on the spot. We're supposed to pause and laugh. There you go. There you go. Right. My audience, the audience here, is laughing and they want us to pause. All right. So.
So one thing I do want to note though is, I feel like I made that strong claim there about finding purpose, but I think there was a point where I was so deficient in some things and had so much shadow to work through and so much kind of mental illness. There was times when I was deeply depressed or
Yeah.
deeply anxious or whatever, where I don't know if that purpose
Could be attained in that current state.
perhaps, yeah. Because there were times when like I would have to go shopping to kind of release to do a release. Not it wasn't giving me something. It was
Yeah.
I was so anxious that if I didn't go and buy a pack it's office supplies. That's what I used to do. I didn't go and buy a pack of Sharpies. Like going there and buying the pack of Sharpies like made me feel better. So like
to each her own, right?
I'm curious to explore if I would have needed to kind of get past that to like a midpoint, a stable point, and then at that stable point, after I spent all those years in therapy and with people getting to that stable point, if then I could then move on and find the purpose. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure that I would have had that capability in the earlier state.
Yeah, got it. I could see that if one is in a state, a very low level state in which they're really depressed or anxious or fearful, it you might need something to kind of boost you out of that, to break through a little bit in order for you to then go and attain, your true underlying vision. So yeah, I definitely could see that. All right, so that was a great little introduction about happiness, and it's time to hop into some meditation. Are you going to meditate with me?
I
here?
do want to.
Oh, beautiful.
But
All
can
right.
we use the bowl?
Use the sound bowl?
Yeah.
I do have a sound bowl.
That's my favorite.
All right. We're going to start with a little bit of this. By the way, if you can't see it, it's a nice Buddha hanging out in the bowl. Buddha likes to make some soothing sounds. So we'll start out. Everyone get in a nice, comfortable seating posture. And gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep inhale through the nose. And a slow, deep exhale through your mouth. And a slow, deep inhale through your nose. And a slow, deep exhale through your mouth. And a slow, deep inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. And a slow, deep exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. And a slow, deep inhale through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. And a slow, deep exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Find a nice, comfortable breath count that works for you, whether it's 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, 8 seconds in, 8 seconds out, whatever is good for you. And stay true to that breath count throughout the remainder of the meditation. When distracting thoughts enter your mind, do not judge them. Do not get hard on yourself for having thoughts popping into your head. Just gently release them and return to your breath. Slow, deep inhales in through the nose and slow, deep exhales out through your mouth. Our minds are constantly racing. We think about the past, we think about the future, we have planning thoughts of all the things we have to do. We reminisce about past events. We think about all the things we could have done or should have done. But none of that is important now. In meditation, you go within, beyond thought. You go to the place of pure being, of pure oneness, the place where you are one with all of creation, with the source of creation, not with the ego, not with fearful thoughts, not with thoughts about what you have to do, thoughts that keep you distracted. No, we're going to go inward. We're going to go all the way to the source of love, and we're going to focus on our breath, empty our thoughts, and allow ourselves to be filled up with pure love. So gently inhale through your nose, raising your belly, breathing in pure being and love into your body, and exhale through your mouth, releasing all that does not serve you. Breathe in through your nose, raising your abdomen, and exhale through your mouth. Find a regular breath count, clear your mind, and stay true to your breath count throughout the remainder of this meditation. When distracting thoughts enter your mind, release them and return to your breath. People search the external world for happiness. As young children, we gorge on food. We do whatever we can in excess to try to reach a state of joy. But that method, that search, always ends up leaving us empty, even with a full belly. Because need satiation does not produce long-lasting joy. The most ironic thing about our pursuit as humans, our pursuit into the external world, is that we're looking for something externally, namely happiness, which already exists internally within our core being. There's nothing in the external world that will be able to fill up any lack that one feels they may have. Temporarily, sure, you might feel good to accomplish something or have that big meal or, get drunk or whatever it is that you do. But there's always consequences to those actions within this dualistic framework. And what I mean by dualistic framework is this world of opposites, where things can be hot or cold or right or wrong or good or bad. That's all external. Internally, we are one. When you look inside and stop looking externally for happiness, you realize something amazing. What you realize is that everything you've ever needed to be perfectly peaceful and content and joyful is already within you. The world's trick is to convince you that you are lacking something and that in order to fill that hole within you, that void within you, you need to go out into the external world and find that thing that you're lacking. But that's just a sleight of hand. It's not reality. It's not truth. Nothing you find in the external world will ever give you long-term happiness. Long-term happiness, peace, and joy are your inheritance. They're already within you if you just choose to look there. The minute you look away, you will feel empty. The minute you look within, you will feel full. So take a slow, deep inhale in through your nose, gently raising your belly, filling your core with love and light. And a slow, deep exhale through your mouth, releasing all the ego framework, for it does not serve you. And breathe in gently through your nose, filling your soul with perfect peace and oneness. And exhale all thought from your mind, returning home to your state of perfect peace. And take the biggest inhale of the day through your nose, filling up this vessel with as much oxygen, love, and light as you possibly can. And exhale through your mouth, releasing all that blocks you from returning home. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of the day. Namaste. Kittens Kung Fu, you showed up. Awesome. Good to see you. It's good to see everyone here. Thank you all so much. We're both eternally grateful that you shared this meditation with us and the philosophy prior. It's really cool that you all came in and that you're all interested about happiness and need fulfillment, the distinctions between hedonistic happiness and goal attainment and purpose. Purpose is super important. Without purpose, we look for other things that are going to give us happiness, and those things will ultimately fail. So thank you for tuning in.
Also, thank you, A. for the subscribe.
Oh, we got to subscribe here. Yeah. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank
we
you,
got 3 subscribers.
Kung Fu. We're so stoked too.
Yeah. Yeah, really appreciate it. It was it's something. It was one of our goals that we were trying to do at Evolve Yourself TV, and we're super happy that we were able to get this. And thanks for your follow and all that. We much appreciate it. Oh, excellent, great. All right, we have a lot of people chiming in. This is
Dieted John,
Dieted
hi.
John, excellent. All right.
Joyful is a good feeling.
Yes. This is really, really good. Okay. Well, thank you all so much. Oh, and Alb's gifting a tier 1 sub to the community. This is great. Awesome. Really cool. He gifted one to Roko Hemda. Nice. You're the first person to gift a sub. Well, that's really, really kind. Thank you so much. I'm sure Roko Hemda will appreciate that. And JT Farms, thank you so much as well. You're so kind and welcoming. You show up for the streams, and we really, really, really appreciate all your support. All right. Oh, and Ted Warm Rain, Ted J Warm Rain, thank you so much. This is great. There's so much positivity here. This is a wonderful community we're trying to build. Yeah, absolutely. Kittens,
Who should we raid today? I can't find anyone.
Yeah, Kittens. Who should we raid? Kittens. You know the community. Let's see who's out there to raid. Is there anyone out there? Pick a live channel. We're gonna try to find someone to raid. Let's see.
Gotham Chess?
No, I'm not gonna raid. Hold on. Okay, Kittens Kung Fu is gonna come forth and find us a worthy person to
All
raid.
the people
Yeah, this is so
right
strange. Usually everyone is. There's someone to raid. Are you finding? Do you see anyone?
Not any of the people that I follow are on live right
All
now.
right.
But I don't know a lot.
Well, you guys are getting extra. You're getting some extra minutes with us.
Yeah, bonus content right here.
This is quality.
We don't do this for everyone.
This is quality. Whoa! You gifted. Wow, Kittens Kung Fu. Thank you so much.
Gosh.
Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Wow.
Thank you so much.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Unbelievable. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I'm so happy and grateful. This is incredible. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone to raid? Can we find? Let's see if we can find someone.
I'm just gonna go to health and fitness.
Yeah, just go to health and fitness and just try to find someone. Unless you see someone that you know, if you have any someone in the fitness health community that you want to raid, I mean. We'd love to support you and help you out. Let's see if there's anyone out there. Well, if not, we can always end early. But anyways, thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate all your support. Oh, Mike Fit is a great guy doing fitness. Let's try to find Mike Fit. Okay, Mike Fit. Here he is. Cool. All right, we're going to raid Mike Fit. I think with his wife Amy. All right, everyone give him a big shout out when we raid him. And thank you again, everyone, and especially Kittens Kung Fu. That was really, really awesome to gift 5 subs. That's way beyond, like what we would ask. So thank you again. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, let's. Okay.